Hello fellow crafters, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to work with some Concord and 9th dies and stamps. This is from the new release, the September release. I was able to purchase the bundle and I have a nice little idea for this card. So let's get to it. So first we're going to do a lot of die cutting. I think that's what we're going to work on first. Okay guys, I have to say this was a lot of die cutting. Probably the most I've ever done. But these are all the pieces. And I also cut out some acetate. And my card. Let me put those here. Oh, I gotta get these things off. All right, so let me work on this really quick. We're going to put all these pieces together in kind of an open layer type of a card. I just want to get this smudge off that by first getting a card panel. I have a couple card panels that I got to cut at FedEx and they did not do a good job, and so I'm going to use those card panels. And what we're going to do is do a quick measurement because we're going to cut this card panel down. So we know that this here is 4.5 by 5. I mean 4.25. 4.25 by 5.5. Lord, okay. So for this piece, we're going to need about 3.5 by, we'll do by 5, 3.5 by 5. Just gonna chop this small. Oh no, it moved. No. Okay. And then we're doing this 3.5 by 5. Are you guys okay down there? Nothing got stuck? Cool. All right. And I'm going to save these because these will make really good sentiment strips. So I'm going to save these for sentiment strips. This I'll throw out. The way the card's going to go is it's going to go in here like this. So this part will have the acetate, and then we're going to build our little scene right here, and then we'll have this for messages. So first what we're going to do is we're going to try to line this up so that it looks fairly even. Okay. And then with a pencil, where's my pencils? Okay, maybe without a pencil. We'll do it with a Copic multi-liner. Okay. And you're just gonna do the lining by just tracing over that card die cutout. Okay. Now this allows it to be where this part will be the die cut look, but this card would look like it was drawn and die cut the place inside. It's kind of like a flip. All right, now let's start piecing our things together. So I don't want it to be a specific blue or anything. I just wanted to get a little hint of blue. So this has my my oxides. So I have one brush set for oxides and one brush set for dye inks. And I'm going to use this as a guide because this is pretty complicated. But I'm sure once it's my first time, so I'm sure once I figure it out. Okay, maybe this wand is not going to work for that. I might have to just stick to tweezers. And now I'm going to place it at that corner. Use my tweezers. Okay, so it's glue. I'm shaking really bad today. Okay. Place that on there, and then I'm just gonna put a little acrylic block to hold that down. Next, we're going to put the tree. Now, what I'm trying to think about is, do I want the tree to be two? I guess we could make it a really, really big tree. Yep, we'll do that. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put this tree together. And awesome sauce. And the last piece there we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. Whoa. And we'll have that right over there. Yeah. All right. Now we can add this to it. Now I did a little blending down here. I'm just gonna, whoa, sticky fingers, not sticky fingers, butterfingers. And we're just gonna put the glue at the bottom. Line it up. I'm warning you guys, my dog is going to ring the bell to go to the bathroom. Or not. Okay, she just laid there. I have a Saint Bernard. Okay. All right, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Now, what I do want to do is, I'm gonna use my Copic markers. Okay. So this is B02. I'm just gonna add just a slight tinge of blue up there. And then I'm gonna go to B00. And I'm just gonna kind of go there with it. Go over it multiple times. Kind of get that good blend. All right. Then I'm going to take B000 and I'm just going to make a little swirl like. I am not really good at Copic marker coloring, guys, but I do try my best, and I have quite a collection of it, so me as well. So now I'm just gonna put a little dash there. Might not mean anything once it dries up, but we'll see. Okay, so I got that blue there, and see if you're gonna just to give you the idea of how this is gonna work. It would be like that. So we'll see. Now we need to, we still have quite a bit of dyes. Well, these are duplicates, and so is this. This goes for the outside. That goes for the outside. Okay. And we're gonna put this on the outside as well. Okay, so these are all outside things. So we're done with this for now. So we'll put that aside. So very first thing we're gonna do is, because actually it might give me time to allow it to dry off. So just along the glass, I'm going to add some glue as close to the edges as possible. That was not along the glass. Okay. And then we're going to take the larger acetate, and we're just going to place it right over this. Just like that. Okay. Now, we're also going to place this here. Oh, this did not turn out the way I thought it was going to. So I'm going to have to cut that over. But we're going to place this here for now, just to prevent any extra sticking. Okay, so I'm going to start doing a voiceover from here. My family had just came home. So now we're just assembling the globe. This is what I'm calling it a globe. It might be called something else. But I'm just going to apply glue at the bottom of that die cut and line it up to the bottom of the globe here. And this is going to give it like a base of the globe, the bottom part, which, you know, that typically holds it and stands it on your nightstand. And we're just going to place a little bit of glue and we're going to line it up to the bottom to try to not get it on the acetate sheet so that it doesn't smudge all over. Okay, now here we're going to start assembling the ribbon that goes on top of the globe. Now, I struggled with this slightly just because I was not too sure how to assemble this, but I eventually figured it out. So what happens is we're actually going to place the small little die cut that you see on my top left that I'm grabbing right now. That's actually going to go on the bottom, and then the other piece will go on top. And with the magic of recording, we're going to fast forward to the exact position where I figured out life. And now I have figured it out. So that bigger piece will go on the bottom, and then the smaller piece goes on top. We're going to put the two ribbons coming out on the sides, and then the middle piece is going to go right on top, and that's the imitate a knot of the bow. I think this bow is so cute. I think the only thing that I would have done different is maybe that bottom piece of the bow got a darker cardstock to kind of give it the look of the inside loop of the bow. But again, trial and error. This is my first time doing a card with so many die pieces. So now we're just going to get this assembled on the card and glue it down. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this just because it's very tedious, but I'm just going to adhere everything up together, and then I'm going to place it on the front card panel or the card base and start putting my globe together. Now I want my bow to kind of be wrapped around that little handle on top, and then I want the strips to kind of come out on the side. And then we're going to add the foliage on the side of them to kind of give it more of a Christmas look. So we're going to take that foliage and we're just going to try to stick it underneath the bow to kind of have it coming from behind the bow, and not put too much glue so that it's not seeping out, because remember, we still have to decorate the background. So I'm just going to try to tuck that right behind the bow. And so at this moment my camera decided it wanted to mess up and completely freeze our entire recording. But ultimately this is what we came up with when we were done. We added the two foliages as well as the two bells in the middle of the bow. Now we're going to start decorating the inside of our card panel. First, I'm going to wipe off the acetate with a little rag just to take off any excess dirt or fuzzy paper that may be there from the die cutting, and clean up any glue that also might have gotten on there. Best thing about acetate is that you can easily just wipe it down with a rag and you're pretty much good. So now we're going to line up the inner panel, the inner card base inside of our main card base, and place it down so that it's lined up the way we want to, so that we can put our deer on top of the card base. Now I'm trying to figure out here my decorating with the tree, because I want to use sequences. And at first I thought I was going to start maybe doing some splatters, and that did not work. I realized that the piece that I had cut out does not protect the entire side. So what you see me doing here, taping the negative cutout to the card base, is not needed, because I ended up just taking some Jelly Roll pen and creating little snow dots. Okay, so now I'm just adding a little bit of dots to imitate snow-like. coming from the trees, falling on the trees, falling on the house. It's very subtle. You really cannot see it in the video, but in person it does add that nice little snow globe kind of a look to it, and it gives it that nice little Christmas feeling, or look, not feeling. And then I thought about the tree. Now, for the tree, I would like to kind of give it a little shine and give it that ornament, kind of a gold ornament look. So I decided to take some sequences. This calls from confetti. I'm not sure what the name of this one is, but it's really, really tiny, tiny sequences. And I'm applying some glue dots and placing those tiny sequences on the tree as we would when we're decorating Christmas trees, which, mind you, I am horrible at decorating Christmas trees, but on a card I think I did pretty well. So we're just adding a little bit of sequence to kind of give it that look of ornaments on a tree outside, and also give it that nice little shine to it. And I really love how it turned out. Now I'm going to bring it closer for you to see and look at how beautiful that looks. The little dots of snow and the ornaments on that tree gives it a perfect shine. So now we're going to see how it looks so far. And at this moment I got so excited that I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I was so proud of myself for finishing this card and seeing how it turned out. I apologize. I am not going to put it together yet. I'm actually going to start decorating the outside. And what I was thinking of doing is adding some star sequences, or maybe some stamps. I wasn't too sure. But before doing that, I need to add my deer. My cute little deer buddy. Now the deer that gets cut out from the die does not really have a lot of facial details, so I took a Copic multi-liner and added little bits of details to the deer, adding, you know, the eyes, the nose, where the hooves, I think it's called hooves, are on the deer, and giving it a little smile. And that's just going to just add a little bit of detail and give it that nice little pizzazz. I'm hoping that I'm going to show you what I have done, and if I don't, I apologize. That was very selfish of me. Definitely, I will say that the next video I do, I will most definitely do a zoom and zoom it up a lot better, and get a lot closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. But this is just me adding the details, and I'm just going to speed this up for you guys. Okay, so just adding that little bit of details. I'm going to add some little white speckles to the back of the deer, kind of give it the spot look, and then we're going to adhere the deer onto the acetate. Now I'm going to place the panel back inside so I can get an idea of where exactly I would like the deer to lie on this card. And once I figure out the placement, we're just going to adhere it to the back. I'm going to put a little bit of glue so it doesn't smudge, and then I'm going to lift up the head of the deer and add a little bit more glue to keep the head down. Just being very careful to not get glue all over my acetate. Okay, so that part is done. Now we're going to work on putting some sequences on the outside of the base, the card base. I decided to use sequences from Trinity, I believe called Trinity Stamps, and they have these beautiful star-like sequences that I think would look perfect on this card and kind of give it that little sparkle and tie the shine and the sparkle from the inside panel to the outside. Now I'm going to use my little triangle trays. I had these for a while, then Simon came out with them and I was like, oh, gotta collect it. I gotta get it. So you'll see I use two different types of sequences. I have larger stars and smaller stars. I'm sorry, I have a larger stars and then I have small snowflakes. We're going to use the large stars on the outside of the card base, and then we're going to use the small snowflakes on the inside of the panel. Okay, so now I'm just going to speed this up because it's a lot of placing and gluing and placing and gluing, but I'm just trying to find the perfect position for all of these, and then I'm going to tape down my card so that it doesn't pop up while I'm trying to place all my sequences. And I love how that the front panel looked. And now we're going to put the snow on the inside, and let me tell you, I do go overboard with the snow sequences, but they were so cute. I could not help myself. I think they looked perfect. So this is the finished card once we place all the sequences, and I think it looks adorable. It's exactly the way I wanted it to look like, and I know it may look like a lot right now, but once we put everything together, it is seamless. So now we're just going to use some Simon Says tape runner, and we're going to assemble our card. Just going to put some tape at the bottom, on the sides, and then across in the middle, just to make sure that it adheres correctly. And we're going to line it up with the inside so that we have a perfect placement. And then we're going to close it on itself carefully. Alrighty. And this is our card. I'm telling you, I mean, it was a perfect catch. It fell right on top of my hand, but I am going to be very famous for dropping my sequences. I'm always bumping into them. And this is why we should always put our sequences away as soon as we're done. But I'm just gonna add a little pressure to make sure it's on there good. And look at this card, guys. It is beautiful. I love how this card turned out. I'm just gonna add a little pressure to that bottom and then add some glue to kind of hold that down a lot better. But that is our finished card. I lied. We have to add our little sentiment. I want to use the Mary die that's from the Concord and 9th stamp. It comes with the globe set. And I love that beautiful scripted Mary die. And I'm just going to cut it out in black cardstock and place it right in the middle of our globe. Okay, so we're going to add the Mary sentiment in the center. I'm trying to find a perfect position for it, because I want it to stand out, but I also do not want it to cover the image. Then we're going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back of our intricate die, and I'm just removing any type of adhesive or glue that might have seeped out a little bit to not mess up our beautiful card. But this is the finished card. It is gorgeous. I love it. I love how it turned out. But I decided at the last minute I want to put a nice little sentiment in the inside. Now, during the Christmas tree ornament decorating thing, I started singing "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas," and sure enough, while looking for a sentiment to put on the inside, I found it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So I love it. Alright, so this is the finished card, you guys. I love how it turned out. I love how that sentiment is. I love how I have all this shine of the sequences in the background and the nice little sequences of snow that shows inside the card panel. It is everything that I imagined, and I hope you guys get this stamp set or die set and try it out for yourself. So remember, you are beautiful, you matter, and your creation is the art of this world. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the content.